But the credit was instrumental in reducing child poverty rates, and it gave parents some much needed breathing room. Then it disappeared. It went away. Democrats needed continuing this credit a priority last year, but Joe Biden was unable to get it done. He wasn't able to get the stimulus payments sent out when the people needed it most. Because now the Biden administration has released details this week on its plan to overhaul the current income-driven repayment plan, known as the Revised Pay-as-You-Earn Plan. This plan is going to give people stimulus checks. But now, if this bill is approved, Nebraska will join states like New York, Massachusetts, Maryland, Colorado, New Mexico, and even Maine in having a child tax credit, everybody. And this proposal would allow a $1,000 child per credit for families with incomes of up to $75,000. Families making more than that could receive lower credits based on their income. And now one official even said that there is no limitation to the number of children that are covered, and it kind of phases in and out with different income levels. For instance, families making more than that could receive a lower credit based on income, and one state official has even confirmed that there is no limitation to the number of people that are covered, and it kind of phases in and out with different income levels. Conrad also said that the credit would put more money into the people of Nebraska, and it would give them the stimulus checks that pretty much everyone's been asking for. But though many lawmakers across the country have agreed to help the low income financially by expanding this credit, by giving people what they need, by giving people what's needed from the American government. And what's needed from the government is stimulus checks. For instance, the New York governor has already announced a plan to make government work better for the New Yorkers by transforming the way that people access services and benefits. In state agencies, the state will implement significant technological enhancements to reduce the hurdles and improve the child care assistance, and everyone around the United States should be getting that stimulus payment. So it's good to see that Joe Biden's doing what he needs to do.
Will be replaced quickly. To apply for assistance from FEMA, you can go online to disasterassistance.gov. Disasterassistance.gov. You can also sign up in person for disaster recovery centers in the coming days. There are going to be at least 7 centers opened across this state, and FEMA is going to deploy disaster survivor assistance teams to communities that need them the most. We can go to the FEMA website to find that location. And look, as I've said on other disasters, the key is not just building back, it's building back stronger. Just because since I became president, we've spent $9 billion in disaster assistance to California for the extreme weather events they've had to go through. $9 billion, and these weeks have shown the compounding effect of the disasters. For example, places that were ravaged by past wildfires are now at a higher risk of landslides. Extreme weather caused by climate change means stronger and more frequent storms, more intense droughts, longer wildfire seasons, all of which threaten communities across California. So we have to invest in stronger infrastructure to lessen the impacts of these disasters because they become cumulative in a sense. We've already allocated funding from the infrastructure law that I signed a year ago, and more than $16 billion for more than 480 projects across this state. We're making the California power grid more resilient.
In response to rising mortgage rates, the mix of job gains also reflects shifts in consumer behavior. For much of the past 2 years, Americans spent on homes and furnishings and other goods, boosting employment at warehouses and transportation companies. Many Democrats, everybody, are upset at Republicans for not agreeing to plan for President Biden's new spending plan. Now, there is actually still billions of dollars in relief right now. The Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell is facing widespread criticism for his reassertion that the so-called labor shortage in the United States is the result of stimulus checks. During a recent event, McConnell said that direct aid, stimulus money, was sent to American taxpayers over the past 2 years, and that has been holding people back from working. Now, Elizabeth Warren condemned McConnell's statement on Twitter. Mitch McConnell is blaming Americans for not wanting to work, she said. It's absurdly out of touch, and more workers have jobs now than pre-crisis. And investing in affordable childcare will help parents return to work, but Republicans refuse to support actual solutions. Big news has been announced, and there are new proposals currently on the table. It would make a dramatic positive impact for the Social Security people. Joe Biden is making a big decision on this in order to try to avoid Social Security cuts for all recipients. Top senators for both parties are working to save Social Security benefits. Everyone in DC knows that Social Security is in trouble. They only have to listen to the federal government and the program's trustees. In the latest report, the trustees projected that Social Security's combined trust funds is already running out of money, and by 2034, the program's done. But some in Washington are working on solutions to prevent the program from becoming insolvent. One of them, Senate Republican Bill Cassidy, recently revealed what he called a big idea in a webcast hosted by the Bipartisan Policy Center that could roughly save 75% of the program's projected shortfall. The proposal is to create an investment fund that's completely separate from Social Security's current trust funds. This new investment fund would invest money in the stock market, where Social Security trust funds currently put money in treasury bills or cash. Now, what I mean is that he called Social Security's current approach the Silicon Valley Bank of pension funds, a reference to the failed bank that was acquired by the First Citizens Bank. He argued that the federal program is the worst investment strategy you can have right now. The separate fund isn't really a new idea, though, because he pointed to other funds, including the Canada Plan and Ontario Pensions Plan for teachers, that were in bad shape financially but became solvent by using a market-based strategy. There are some details remaining to be worked out. For instance, some people think the proposed plan will be a gap stop to guarantee that if they won't lose money if the stock market underperforms. Cassie said the participation is now needed from both Democratic and Republican leaders to take action for Social Security. Even though the President and Congress have limited options for preserving Social Security, they can either raise additional money, reduce benefits, or do both. Because President Biden has been adamantly against any reduction in benefits. Even Senator Cassidy said that it's not right to do that. Steep benefit cuts are.
We're rebuilding America. We're going to invest in America and build a better America than we found. And for the better part of the 20th century, we used to lead the world by a significant margin because we invested in ourselves. We invested in our infrastructure, our roads, our highways, bridges, ports, airports, the arteries of the nation that allow commerce to function smoothly and move swiftly. And we invested in our people and in opportunity.
So be sure to keep on watching because we have a ton of information about this. Supplemental Security Income recipients are set to receive a payment of $914 this Friday, making it the second time they received this month. And also, according to the SSA, the recipients are receiving 2 payments this month, due to the first day of January falling on national holiday. The second payment will be slightly higher than what recipients expected to receive last month. Eligible couples for SI and essential persons, meaning someone who lives with a person receiving SI and provides necessary care, will also get a second December payment on December 30th. The SSA said that couples will receive $1,300, while essential people will get $500 as well. The cost of living adjustment for 2023 will be 8.7%, making it the largest adjustment ever seen since 1981, when the adjustment was just 11%. The SSA makes these adjustments almost every year as a way to keep up with inflation. In 2023, the maximum Social Security disability benefit was $3,700 a month. That is $282 more in 2022. But the average SSDI benefit is significantly lower. Even when you factor in 2023's high COLA, the average monthly disability benefit will be just $1,400. Every year, a total of 12 SSI payments are issued by the SSA to ensure that recipients get a payment one time every month. And when the first of the month occurs on a weekend or holiday, as in this case, the payments are given on last business day of the previous month. According to an official schedule, the SSA will issue double payments to